a shoulder injury, and after about a month of testing and going to the doctors and trying to figure out what was wrong with my neck, turned out that it was Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I got diagnosed 2 weeks before my high school graduation.
It was a real bummer because she was a really good kid and a really sparkling part of this community also because she was working at the coffee shop with somebody you saw every day. And
the first thing David did was text me and say, Ryland's sick, we gotta help them.
David was a huge part of Ryland, my daughter's cancer fundraising. He wasn't even asked to participate in and help with, and he jumped right on it. He said, what do you need me to do today? And he stopped what he was doing there and spent the whole afternoon with us.
People see David as being open and welcoming, and they'll come to him and say, hey, I got this problem, I need help. If David can help, he's gonna help him. And if he can't, he's gonna find someone who can.
He put on a fundraiser for me for my my end-stage renal kidney failure, and David was a big part of getting raffle prizes and cooking food, and he's done that for me twice.
That has been what's kind of sustained his family through the early parts of his treatment.
our main job is to help people. It's part of my everyday life, one way or another. That bell going off behind me, that's the front door opening. That's the key. People walking in and us trying to help them with what they need.
When anyone needs anything, particularly in the hardware store here, it's like a buzzword. If someone says, oh, something happened in Meadow Vista, what? I'm there to help. People here just really take care of their own and their community.
The Ace Hardware Store is set back in the late 50s, early 60s. Wood floors, old barn-style building, got a couple of really cool cats in there. It's very whimsical. The people who work in there are so kind.
There's not a whole lot in Meadow Vista, so we have the hardware store, the grocery store, the coffee shop, and I feel like that makes it a meeting place for people to come and, share ideas and looking for help. We're also involved in a lot of the community events that take place, and being kind of a central piece of the community, it drives that kind of traffic through us.
We know kind of everyone, we know the Lisa's. We met them shortly after we moved here. I think the small community is really important, especially through what I've been through.
She went through 8 rounds of chemo. Obviously there's infections and whatnot involved with a lot of that stuff. 8 months of pretty much hell.
I was in the hospital for a week at a time, and then 2 weeks out of the hospital.
As most people who have experienced that kind of hardship know, beyond just the mental anguish of your child being sick, there's a lot of financial stuff that comes into it. Obviously, there's nothing we can do about the sickness part, but hopefully we could do something about helping to ease the financial burden.
We would deliver food to their house, and then it grew into something bigger. It grew into fundraisers and the mobilization of the community.
We had come up with the idea to do this cornhole tournament through Lions Club, which was our first time we'd ever done it. We were gonna make our own cornhole boards. We were gonna paint them, auction off the boards. We made probably north of 20 grand, and it's not a huge amount of money, but it's something that makes it a little easier.
David and Brittany and Ace donated quite a bit to kind of make the fundraiser what it was. They've helped a lot with checking in on our family and making sure we're doing good.
Anthony had started having some health concerns, needed to go on dialysis almost immediately, and that dialysis was going to be for like 14 hours a day, which meant that he didn't have time to work. He was just trying to stay alive at that point.
When this disease hit me, being a private owner of a shop, I don't have the luxury of disability, so I had a lot of bills.
I told him, I said, hey man, listen, things are gonna come up where you need help. You gotta realize that you're not gonna be physically able to do some of the things you wanna do. So we did a couple of different fundraisers for him to help him just stay on his feet. I mean, he was the primary breadwinner in their house.
The turnout was amazing. To see so much of our community show up and be there to support Anthony, the outpouring was unbelievable.
I was not expecting to have a whole town show up. It broke me down as a man. It was super humbling. An absolute amazing gift of life from them.
We made over $50,000. He's open again. He's able to kind of participate in our community. He was there at that cornhole tournament yesterday cooking, and that's the first time he's been able to attend one of our events in a while.
That was really neat seeing how many people cared about somebody they barely knew, but they just wanted to help, and it did. It helped a lot.
We moved here in 2020, so for us to be only here for a year and a half when she was diagnosed with cancer, and then David and his family and the community to step up, it was mind-boggling. And I think the Lisas are a very, very big part of that response. I think the community's labels them as a class act. There's probably a better word, I just don't know it.
Thank you to everybody who's had my back through everything, and I've been home and I've been healthy and I've been in remission. Thank you.
We're never going to get rich doing what we do, but the relationships we've made and the people we know and the ability to be able to help people in our community is unmatched.
A lot of it has to do with just the kind of place I want to live. And the kind of place I want to live is where people help each other. If I don't do it, who else is going to do it? I want my kids to understand that's a part of it. You don't just get to sit by and watch things happen to people. Participating and helping in their lives is a big piece of it.